Hi YouTube, I'm your host Queen Elizabeth Sasha, and today I'll be doing a video on cooking turkey neck. So now we're just going to move on into my kitchen. So we're going to walk in. And today, as said, we'll be doing a video on cooking turkey neck. So I already prepped all of my food. As you can see, everything is already laid out in my kitchen. So right now, I'm just going to jump into my refrigerator and I'm going to go get the meat that's already prepped. So pretty much before I do anything, I get my meat butchered every single day. So if I'm about to prepare a meat like this, it's already cut freshly from the grocery store. So now I'm going to actually put it into the sink. So I'm just going to move over here. Of course, I take my saran wrap off. And before I do anything else, you want to always wash your hands. Pretty much, I go ahead and turn on my faucet. Want to dry your hands, and before that I put the meat in the sink. So after I fully clean my hands, I put it in the sink, and now I'm just going to take some vinegar and just pretty much dabble all over it. The reason I use vinegar is just to cut down the rawness in the meat. Now I'm going to mix it around in my fingers. Don't worry if it falls out into the sink. My sink is already clean. Now I'm going to rinse it off with the water. I'm just going to drain it off. Now I take my pressure cooker, and this pretty much has like it's pretty much a slow cooker, but it cooks my meat within like 20 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to take the meat out and dump it into the pot. Then I come over here and I already have my seasoning prepped out. So this is all the seasoning that I use. So I go ahead and dump it in here on the meat. Gotta put some thyme in there. Alright, and then I go ahead and I put my seasoning. I only use about 2 tablespoons of seasoning for each one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and portion it out for you. So what I do is, to get an accurate measuring, I open it. And this is the Montreal Grill Master. And I just spoon it into there. Same thing with the Lawry seasoned salt. I only use 1. And then I go ahead with some ground red pepper. And that just gives my meat just a little kick. And I use just about that much. And I dab it into there. And then I have my water prepped on the side already. So I'm going to use about 4 cups of water. So I'm going to throw it into the pot. And then it should look like that. So now I take my lid and I just take it, flip it over, and I just lock it. After I lock it, then of course I put it on my stove. And I'm going to turn it on high. And that, once I turn it on high, it's going to go to an actual boil and then seal the container, and then it starts to cook. Once it starts to cook, this whistle will start going off. Now I'm just going to go over to the side where we're going to do the rice and beans today. And I already have about 2 cups of rice already prepped in my pot. So as you can see, it's right there. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to open my beans. So I use Goya red peas. So I'm just going to pop that open in the meantime. And I'm just going to pour that all into the pot. And there's going to be some little extras in there, so you just want to scrape that out. And in the meantime, you're just going to mix it around in the pot. It should look somewhat like this. Once I'm done with that, then I'm going to just take a teaspoonful of butter. And I'm just going to drop that in there. And of course, I only use country crock because it has no trans fat and it's just a little bit healthier. So I'm just going to put a teaspoonful of butter in there. And I close that up. And now I'm going to use my Grace coconut milk. So that just gives my rice a wonderful flavor. A buttery, nice flavor. I'm just going to pour some in there. And it should look like that. Now I'm just going to mix it around a little bit more. Now I'm just going to add some more water to it. And then already over here, just to give my rice some flavor, I'm just going to take a dab of scallion and a piece of thyme. And I'm just going to drop it in here. Once I drop it in there, I'm just going to cover it. And also turn on my fire. Alright, so while that's going to come to a boil, I also have this pot already prepped for green bananas. And that's usually an essential part of the meal when we're cooking our food. So I already have them prepped. The skin is already intact. But what I went ahead and did was I sliced them so they look like these. So that after they finish boiling, they'll just easily come off. So I go ahead and put those in the pot. And just so they don't become brown or a dark color, I put some cooking oil in the pot itself. Then of course I cover it. I also turn on the stove for this one also. And both of them are going to be to a boil. In about 20 minutes, I'll get back to you after the finished process. Thank you, YouTube.